Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be continuing into part 7 of What If Goku Was Born as a Super Saiyan. If you haven't seen part 6, there's a title card where you can go check it out and see what happened in the last part. But today we'll be going into the Cooler Invasion arc. How will this battle go down? Will the Saiyans be able to take down Cooler, or will they perish by his hands? How strong is Vegeta gone, and will he be able to stop Cooler? For those who are interested, I own a Discord server for anyone who wants to join and talk more about Dragon Ball with me and other viewers. Maybe give us some ideas of your own what ifs, and maybe in the future I could do them. Check the link in the description down below. And today's question of the video is from What If Nidoking 2229. Who is your favorite villain from Dragon Ball? Now, overall Dragon Ball, my favorite villain would have to be the androids. Androids 17 and 18, absolutely crazy. And even though I guess people, it's in a way you can't really consider them to be a villain because they were just kidnapped and all that and transformed into androids. Either way, they were cool in the future timeline and in the second. Well, the future timeline is the original, but that timeline and the other time, they were both crazy, basically taking out the whole group with zero to little effort. And they're just badass. Even later on in Super, they become really cool still, especially Android 17. Now, if I'm gonna do the rapid ball here because he could have meant from Dragon Ball or all of Dragon Ball, but from Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. So Z is Android 17 and 18. Dragon Ball would have to be, to be honest, it would be King Piccolo. I like that. He was pretty cool, and he really gave Goku a challenge. And in Super, that's also kind of because there's only really one villain, which is Goku Black, but still he is really cool as well. But yeah, that was the question of the day. Listen, if you didn't get your question picked, if you commented in the last video, that's okay. You can re-comment in this video. And the rule is I'm not going to re-choose someone who already won just so it can be fair. I'll re-choose them probably later on, say months or so, just so that I'm not getting the same people over and over and other people have the chance to comment down. But again, thank you so much for commenting. What if Nidoking? I like the question. And if you want me to answer one of your questions in the next video, you'll be lucky enough to be chosen. And I'll answer in the next video, the start of it. So just comment down a question you got from me, and yeah, that's about it. Without further ado, let's dive into part 7 of What If Goku Was Born as a Super Saiyan. Bardock looks up to see Cooler and the remaining Frieza Force soldiers all rushing down to Planet Vegeta. Immediately, Bardock would shout at the Saiyan warriors to fight off the soldiers. Bardock prepares to face off Cooler alone, but Nail stops him, saying that they all need to fight him together, as his power is far beyond anything they have come close to, even if they push themselves to their absolute limit. The gap will still remain big. Yamcha is worried for Bulma's safety and would ask 16 to bring her and Monaito someplace safe, away from the battlefield. But then Bardock looks up to also see Granola next to Cooler, and even Granola would catch a glimpse of Monaito and he grows worried, seeing his friend on this planet, but he remains on Cooler's side. Cooler would send Dore and Granola to face off the group, as currently he wants to see the powers of these fighters. Dore is cocky, thinking nothing much of these Saiyans, but he is instantly taken down by Krillin in a single blow, and Bardock would grab a hold of Granola and fly away from Cooler. Cooler smiles fades away as he goes to attack the main group. Instantly, everyone goes into their strongest form, as they need every ounce of power they have to hold off Cooler. Now, I did some research on trying to find Cooler's power level. At his base, as we know him in his 5th form, it's at 470 million. I found a bunch of different calculations and they all summed up to his base being roughly around 120 million. We are not done there, as since Cooler has been taking the Tree of Might fruit to grow stronger, it is hard to say how much stronger he has gotten from the fruit, as the power may vary depending on the planet. In the Tree of Might movie, Turles grew strong after eating Earth's fruit. With the way the fruit works, it would need a lifeful planet, and based on what we know about Universe 7, most planets are not that thriving on life and energy, since Universe 7 was close to last on the scale of mortal levels per planet, with that most likely being the only fruit that was really helpful to Cooler was on the one on Earth. If I had to throw a ballpark guess on Cooler's power level, now I would say it's around 250 million on his base, with his new power level being when he transformed would be at 1 billion, since the calculations show that his transformation is close to 4 times multiplier. Kakarot in his Super Saiyan form, he would attack Cooler, but even in this state he is no match for Cooler, and he would begin beating on Kakarot. Nail goes up to Kaioken times 20, with his power level matching Kakarot's, also at 100 million. Together they could put up a good fight against Cooler, but the others would join in as well, not wanting to give the chance to Cooler to get an upper hand. Now Cooler would be getting pushed back as he is slowly being pushed back by all the fighters jumping him. With Bardock and Granola, he would ask him why he would join the monster, as Granola explained that he wanted revenge on the Saiyans from the destruction of his race. And since Cooler wanted to do the same, he had no problem joining them, and it was also to protect his planet from getting destroyed. Bardock tries to explain to him that the Saiyans only did that because of Cooler's brother, as he made them to so they could sell the planet. Granola did not care, as he still wanted to act on his revenge against the Saiyans, and said he would start with their king as he would prepare to strike Bardock at a vital point, but then he hears the voice of Monaito pleading to him to stop. Granola looks over to see Monaito and asks why is he here on this planet, and why is he on their side. Monaito tries to explain that these Saiyans mostly are good, as the true evil ones are elsewhere. He tries to explain the good deeds that Bardock has done with his little group he has. He tries to remind him that Bardock and the others saved their lives against the heater and even from his own people. He continued by saying that yes, they had destroyed his race, but now they are trying to change for the better, and now they are in danger from someone who is truly evil. If Granola really wanted to fight for the innocents, then he needed to start with going against Cooler and stopping him before he manages to take out everyone on this planet. Granola sighs and helps Bardock up and explains that they are going to need a plan if they really want to take him down, as he has grown stronger than anyone in the universe. Bardock comes up with a plan and would fill on the others on it. Back to the main battle, then everyone continues to gang up on Cooler, as they are starting to gain the upper hand until some of his soldiers begin to trickle in and attacking the fighters. Now they aren't strong to pose any real threat to the group, but they do distract them from Cooler, and this helps him try to take down other fighters one by one to even out the playing field. Nell would see that he needs to go further with this Kaioken. It may destroy his body completely, but they really have no other choice as Cooler is too strong. He begins to power up further as his body begins to bulk up. He is lucky that his body can expand, as if it was anyone else, their body would most likely explode. With this new huge burst of power, he begins to brawl it out with Cooler, and now he is on the same level of him, but he tells the others he isn't too sure how long he can hold them back, so in the meantime, they need to think of something fast. Kakarot will look over to Krillin and Yamcha, asking if they have anything under their belt, and Krillin says that he may have something that could work, but he would need to pull off a solar flare to blind Cooler. They all try to aid Nail in battle, but they are all sent away easily, until Cooler looks at Krillin rushing him, and he would use a solar flare to blind him, and it will work on Cooler, as he is blinded temporarily. But instantly Cooler begins to shoot ki blasts all over the place, which would make Krillin's aim with his Destructo Disc off balance as he throws it, trying to slice Cooler in half, but would aim it too low as he would miss him. Cooler would be able to see again and grow angry as he would shoot a death beam right through Nail as he is sent crashing down, and will grab a hold of Krillin and crash him right into the rubble as he prepares to end Krillin. Until he hears his name to look over to see Granola with Bardock saying he brought the King of the Saiyans to be killed by him. Cooler says he would kill him once he takes out this little human, but then he would look over to see the Destructo Disc attack and would move out the way, but then would feel a sharp pain as he looks down to see his tail was just cut off. Krillin was able to keep control of his Destructo Disc, but still wasn't fast enough to cut Cooler in half. Cooler grows angry as he throws Krillin across the battlefield, sending him crashing into a mountain. Cooler begins to power up into his full power form. Immediately, Granola panics as he drops Bardock and tries to shoot one of Cooler's vital points, but would miss as Bardock would get up. Cooler sees this betrayal and grows even more furious as he yells out that he will murder everyone on this planet. The power he is showing is immense as it leaves almost everyone still. Bardock scoffs, saying that no one is here strong enough to take him on, so he will tell everyone to hold him off as long as they can, as he needs to go up to do his backup plan. Bardock tries to fly off, but instantly Cooler teleports right towards him, smashing him onto the ground. Everyone tries to fight him, but they don't make him flinch. Suddenly, Nail wakes up to Monaito, healing him. Monaito says that he is happy to see another Namekian, but they need him right now. Nail instantly feels the power and gets up to jump right into battle. He would power back into his Kaioken times 50 and would rush down Cooler. He manages to make him lose grip on Bardock and keep him distracted enough for him to get away. Nail doesn't last too long as he is far weaker than Cooler, but it doesn't matter as everyone keeps rushing Cooler. They get sent away but keep coming back to fight Cooler, but they cannot keep doing this as the amount of pain that they are feeling is too immense. They only lasted a few minutes and think it's all over, until Cooler feels a beam attack on his back as he looks over to see the Galactic Patrol members arriving to the planet and attacking Cooler, but not just them. Vegeta also arrives. His power level is currently at 12 million. The training he did with Mirrors paid off well as he asked the others what is their plan, as they explain that they need to hold off Cooler for a few minutes as Bardock has something planned. Vegeta begins powering up, revealing that he has a transformation. His hair spiked up a bit, his eyes turn yellow to show that he has achieved the Ikari form, making his new power level at 120 million. Kakarot was healed up by Monaito before he left with Bardock, and it gave him a Zenkai boost. Kakarot would power up into Super Saiyan, and with the help of the Zenkai boost, his new power level was at 170 million. And not just the Zenkai, but he also tapped straight into Grade 4 Super Saiyan. With them two plus Nail, they all rush at Cooler, with the other fighters being there for support. The Galactic Patrol forces also aided them, with Mirrors even trying to join in a little, trying to contain Cooler. Their goal wasn't to beat him, but just drag him down long enough for Bardock to do his thing. We would pan over to see him what he is doing. He's with Monaito as they gather the Dragon Balls. Monaito would ask what Bardock's wishes is, as he sighs not liking it, but It is the only thing they may have. He asks to be the strongest mortal in the universe. Dragon said that this wish is possible, but would tell him the downside that his lifespan would be cut down to less than a day. This both shocks Monaito and Bardock. He asks Bardock to make another wish as there's gotta be another way to go about this. Bardock just looks down saying that he has to make the wish. He is the king of the Saiyans, and if the only way he could save everyone is to risk his own life, then so be it. We pan back to the battlefield as everyone is trying to fight off Cooler, but they all begin to fall one by one until Cooler gets to Vegeta, as he tries to fight him, but Vegeta manages to dodge most of his attacks, and this frustrates Cooler, not understanding why he cannot hit Vegeta. Now during the training with Mirrors, Vegeta grew a lot in strength, and not only learned how to access the power of the Great Ape in its base form, he also picked up on the fighting style that Mirrors had. He saw how much he was able to dodge all of his attacks, and how he moved around in a way. He would try to copy him, and do the same as he manages to do so for a short while. It is nowhere near perfect, and it doesn't last as long, but Vegeta would need to focus hard to be able to do something, and could do it for a short period of time. He would do so in this fight with Cooler, but it would not last forever, and eventually Vegeta loses focus and gets himself attacked and sent flying away. Everyone is struggling to try to get back up as they are all hurt badly. They think it's all over as Cooler begins to charge up a death ball, saying that they only push back the inevitable, as he throws the attack, but to his shock, he sees his death ball be thrown away from the planet. He looks over to see Bardock in his Super Saiyan form. Everyone is shocked to see him, and Yamcha even points out how Bardock's power just skyrocketed and is not stopping. The final fight between the two begins, and Bardock will strike Cooler, and this will shock Cooler as he actually felt the pain of the attack, and is confused as a few minutes ago, he was nowhere near his strength. It begins to power up to fight Bardock back. Their fight goes all around the planet as huge pressure waves are felt all over the planet. Currently, Cooler is stronger, but he too is noticing that Bardock is growing in power the more they fight, and he doesn't understand why. Monaito returns to the battlefield and begins healing everyone. Kakarot and Raditz would ask what their father wished for, as he looks down in sadness, tells him to wish, and everyone celebrates as now they should be able to take out Cooler without any problem. But then Monaito cuts the cheers, saying that he will die in this battle. They are all confused and ask why, and he would tell them the consequences of him making that wish. Their faces are immediately shown to be in a sad expression, saying if there's any way to save him, but Monaito shuts down that question as that's it for him. Bardock continues growing in power, being able to catch up to Cooler, but what he does notice is that he is beginning to age rapidly, and knows he doesn't have much time. They continue to fight as Bardock is pushing himself more and more, as he needs to make sure he takes down Cooler before he dies, so that everyone is safe. Bardock is pushing himself to grow stronger than Cooler, so that he can completely erase him. But he gets to the old age and he knows his time is short. So he does one final power up and actually achieve the Super Saiyan 2 transformation. And with this new transformation, he manages to overpower Cooler and begin to take him down. Cooler is baffled on how he is losing, but no matter what he tries, he cannot take back the fight, as Bardock would then throw Cooler into the air, and with the last of his power, would shoot a massive ki blast directly at him. Cooler would shoot his own death ball, and the clash begins. Bardock feels the weakness coming in, so he rushes his aging with using all of his power into this one attack, and would overpower Cooler's attack, which erases him on the spot. As the attack is gone, Bardock powers down as we all see him older, with gray hair, and his body all old looking, as he falls onto the ground, powerless and weak. His sons quickly surround him, asking him why he would risk himself to save everyone. He tells them that they must be different, and do what is right no matter the consequences. He apologizes for not telling them beforehand, but now they must focus on the future and continue leading the Saiyans on in the right direction. He would also tell Kakarot that he achieved something beyond Super Saiyan, and that he must focus on that now. Gine arrives to see her husband as she rushes over trying her best to comfort her boys, but also not to break down in front of them. The last thing Bardock sees is his family, as he is surrounded by them, as he smiles, knowing that he did the best he could, and knows that they will be okay as he finally is able to rest and would take his last breath and pass away. And that's where we're going to leave it up for now. Tell me how you think about the 7th part and how I did with the Cooler invasion arc. With the time of peace, what will everyone do? Who will be the new king of the Saiyans? Will we ever see Bardock ever again? What could have happened differently? Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. I would love to hear them. If y'all are interested and enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted whenever I post another part. And thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next part.